Welcome back to the channel. GoPro sent me my new camera so we can get outside. I'm excited to film and upload some new videos. First thing that we're gonna do today is head out to the skate park for a little session this afternoon. I know that when I'm painting my best is when I'm feeling the best on my board as well. First thing that we're gonna do is head over to the skate park. You can see on the dash of my car, I've got all kinds of these little sunset paintings. And here's a painting that I did last night. We can take some time and go through all these a little bit later on, but actually I think there's 6 paintings on the dash of the car, and I did all these in the last couple days, so I'm gonna ease into a little bit of a skateboard session, see where that takes me, and afterwards I'm just gonna ease into a little bit of painting this afternoon. The hunters are here. You can see Tim's van is right behind me. He's out there hunting with Wade. All right, let's go check this out. About 3 o'clock right now. I never changed the clock on my after daylight savings time. It gets dark so early these days. I think around 4:30 or something. I'll skate for an hour and then I'll have maybe 20 minutes to paint before the sun sets. And then I'll have some time to paint afterwards. New trucks, new board. Got the fresh mall grab. A dynamic warm-up to get the party started. Now I think I'll just cycle through a couple of warm-up tricks that I usually do. So a lot of times that's how I like to get warmed up. Just battle through a couple of really easy tricks. So let's see if I can ollie today. I got pretty warmed up right now, but the test of this whole thing is how many kickflips I can do out of 20. I try and do 20 kickflips every day, and I count how many I landed. Yesterday I did 12 out of 20. Not my best ever, but I'm not gonna complain about it. So let's see how many kickflips I can get. I don't really feel like I'm popping them right, but I'm glad that I'm getting something done. I didn't practice any kickflips before I just started, so this is an accurate representation of my kickflips at this point in my life, which is awesome. I glanced down and you can see the kickflip wear on my board, like right there, which means that I'm flicking it right. Not quite used to the pop or the lack of pop on these trucks yet, but I am hitting my tail a little bit. So 3 and 5, 8, 9, 10, plus 4, 14 out of 20. I haven't hit that for a while, but it's time to get home and get this painting going on. Feel decent about the session. Let's get home and we'll do a little bit more vlogging about this painting process. Look how low it is, and I think I'm gonna go out and paint. Should be fun. That light looks pretty good right now, doesn't it? It's 4:07 right now, and I think that the sun sets around 4:25 or so in the evening right now. So I'll probably get out there and get set up right when the sun touches the horizon, maybe a little bit after. I don't know if I'll have time to wash my brushes from last night, but we're gonna go through and we're just gonna work on a couple little 6x8 inch paintings this evening. I definitely am warmed up to get out and paint, get the blood pumping. When you're feeling good, it's time to paint. Let's get home, get changed, maybe wash the brushes, and start to paint.
Sup, YouTube?
You should ride the one wheel down to the end of the driveway and come see me when I'm painting down there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Maybe, I might walk.
Oh, what about the one wheel?
The one wheel.
I'm sorry I have to go. I'm crashing the car into the ditch right now.
Oh, baby.
Just kidding, dear.
Right.
All right, we're just pulling up here at the farm, and you can see that the light is right as it is right here, so I'm not going to change my clothes like I normally do. I'm just going to pull the car over right here, get set up, and work on a painting. I have a sweater that I can put onto myself so that I don't get my decent clothes all covered in paint, and I'm not going to have time to wash my brushes, but it is what it is. It's more important that I capture this light. If I was to go in the house and do any of that kind of thing, I wouldn't have enough time to do it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, why is it that whenever you're looking for a specific tube of paint, you never can find it? I was just looking for my yellow ochre. I'll have to do without it. The secret to what I'm doing today, and by the way, just look behind me, there's some pretty good color in the sky, is I have a black mirror here. Now, I was cleaning up in my paint storage area the other day, and I found this black mirror. Sometimes you can look through it and it's just a piece of welder's glass. Maybe I'll put the link in the description. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to look at the sunset backwards. I'm gonna squint one eye and I'm just gonna view the sunset backwards by holding it like this. I can see the sunset backwards and I can see the colors that I need to mix. A very intense yellow-orange, a less intense yellow, a violet for the clouds, and then some sky colors along with obviously the tree line and the ground plane. Let's go ahead and let's get mixing these colors. All right, here comes Bella on the one wheel. We'll be awaiting her coming down. I mixed up all the colors that I'm going to get started with, and when I was mixing, I was observing nature, looking through this hole in a piece of cardboard that helps me to isolate the color, and it helps me to mix the true color, because as I'm mixing with my palette knife, I can get a little bit of the color on the knife, hold it up against that hole in the cardboard and compare the color. Anyway, I've got my brilliant yellow, I've got my little bit more chromatic orange, and I've got my neutral yellow. These are a couple of things I'm going to use in the sky. A couple different shades of clouds. This one leans more violet, this one leans more blue. Tree line and ground plane. That's pretty much what I've been working with lately, and let's go ahead and get painting. How are you?
Cold.
Cold? Bella's got the camera now. Just gonna grab a little bit bigger brush than I think that I need. And my brushes are totally wet, but I'm gonna start in there. And I painted the good thing about mixing with a knife is that you're going to end up with a lot of color to work with on the palette. Like you can see here that I got nice little piles of paint that I can use this evening. And I'm not gonna, of course I'm gonna mix more colors as I go. There goes the Canadian geese. But I'm gonna have a good amount right off the bat. So okay, well, the light has faded on that last piece and I can't really work on it anymore because the light has changed so much. Never mind that though, because we can keep moving forward. I've got another panel. I'm going to set up another one and I'm going to keep painting until there's nothing left to paint. Okay, so this time around I'm seeing a very pink note near the horizon and then some orange around that, some purple clouds and some sky colors. For the pink note, I'm going to just hold this piece of cardboard up and observe that pink note looking through here. I think I'll try a mixture of quinacridone rose, a little bit of orange mixed with that. Maybe I should do this so you can see. Okay, for this pink note, I've mixed quinacridone rose and a little bit of orange together. The mixtures that you see on my palette are the things that I have had from the painting that I just completed. Need to bring it up in value just a touch. For the color of those violet clouds, I'm using some violet gray. I need to warm it up a little bit, so I've got a touch of permanent rose going into the mixture. Touch of yellow. I've really got to cook on these colors. That's going to work for my violet color. And then for the sky, let's see what we have here left over from my last mixture. Towards the horizon, it just needs to warm up and have some yellow added, so a little bit of yellow ochre. That'll work for towards the horizon. As we go upwards into the sky, I'm going to add a little bit of indigo to the mixture. That'll work well there. For the tree line, compared to what we had before, I need a little bit more indigo added. I mixed this color maybe 10 minutes ago for the last, maybe a couple of minutes ago for the last painting, and it's gone a little bit more indigo. For this color here, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more. Burnt sienna was the first color, and then a little yellow ochre, and that's going to work for my ground planes. I don't know if you can actually see how beautiful the colors are right now, but I can definitely see them from where I'm standing. Sketch this up very quickly. That cloud that kind of comes down like this. Some great pink numbers. So we got some violet clouds up towards the sky. Some of that hot pink. I'm gonna throw this into time warp mode. Hopefully there's gonna be enough light so that you can see it. Alright, the GoPro just died, so I'm reverting to using my cell phone, and you can see behind me that it looks more brilliant. The light looks very brilliant behind me right now, but as I look out, all I can see is that, well, I can't see much, that's the point. It's getting really dark out. This little painting, I'm pretty excited about this little painting. Tomorrow, the last thing I did before I stopped painting this evening was that right in the horizon, right here where the sun kind of is meeting the horizon, as I looked out there, I just really could see like a deep red glow. And I'm sure that has something to do with the exact quality of humidity and the way that those last bits of twilight are shining through that humidity. But the sunset was affecting not only the sky in this evening situation, but also the horizon, and the sun has a way of doing that. The quality of light is always going to illuminate all of the objects in a very interesting and creative way, especially during this time of evening. So you can see the moon is above me. It's the best time of the evening. It's twilight. It's the time of the day that I'm happy to be out painting, and it's the time of the day where I pack my things up and head back into the house. Tomorrow we'll take a look at all the paintings that I have on the dash of my car, and the light will go into the studio and see some of the other sunset paintings that I've been working on, and we'll take it from there. So I'll catch you guys in the morning to check out these sunset paintings. Well, they're still hunting out here. I can see Wade's truck is over there. Hope everything is well with those guys out in the woods. But today we have to take photos of all of my twilight paintings, and we also have to take a look at the ones that are in the car from last night. Okay, I'm here at the car, and I'm seeing this for the first time as well. Here's the first painting. How can I hold this so that you can actually see it and I don't contort my arm and dislocate my shoulder? Here's the first painting that I worked on last night. Some chunky little pieces of paint, some loose strokes. Here is the second one that I worked on last night. Ooh, wow. That one's got some hot pink in it. It was so dark when I was painting that I was more going by feel. And look at this hot pink mark that just is kind of a broken stroke falling across the sky. I'm pleased with that one. I don't think I've ever painted a painting where I've used that color of hot pink before. A lot of times people will ask me how you can work on your color and how you can develop a better understanding of color. And you know, there's not like a concept that you can really use to make yourself a better painter when it comes to color. It's more like you just have to get outside and you have to do a lot of color studies. And so that's what I've been doing with all these little 6x8 inch paintings. Just grabbing some of these, some more of these off the dashboard. It's just painting a little 6x8 of just the sunset. Oh, I kind of like that one. It doesn't take very long. The sunset doesn't last very long, so thankfully it doesn't take very long. But you can do them very rapidly. And the best advice that I have for anybody who's trying to work on their color, become a better colorist, is just to get outside. Here's the actual sun. Just get outside and do a bunch of small 6x8 inch paintings. They don't all have to be superstar paintings. The first painting oftentimes just acts as a warm-up, and then the second or third painting in the evening is what ends up being the true star of your painting session. With plein air painting, the goal is normally to just get outside and do a lot of it. You don't have to be nailing it every time, but you do have to be working consistently. The more you paint, the more little gems you're going to wind up with. So this is what was on the dash of my car. Let's see what we have here in the Chicken Coop studio. I have been so busy at my job. It's been a great time. I love teaching. And because the sun sets so early in the afternoon, it doesn't leave me a whole lot of daylight left to paint by in the afternoon. I know that I want to keep painting even when I get busy with working. And the way that I can do so is just paint small, paint every day, and paint close to home. Most of these were painted just right here on the driveway. And it's pretty easy. I can get home from school, I can just change my clothes quickly, and then I can get out to the end of the driveway and make a painting. And on normal days, I can make 2 or 3 paintings in one afternoon. So it's been, I don't know, 4 weeks or so since I've been working on these, and I've got quite a few paintings. One other reason that I've been working on painting sunsets primarily, and working smaller in general, is that I just had my big show of the year. I just had the fall art tour, and by the way, thanks to everybody for checking out everything that I did on the fall art tour. I paint all year for the fall art tour, and every year it's the thing that I look forward to most. It's my big show for the year. Everybody's happy when they get their big show out of the way. There's so many deadlines that you have to meet whenever you have an art show. So there was so much to do that after the fall art tour happened, I didn't have it in me to just go out and immediately start right back in doing the same things that I've been doing up until the fall art tour. So working small, just focusing on the basics, getting working on just mixing colors and putting paint up on the panel in just the right place. That's really what I like to do when I'm in those times of the year where I'm short on time and kind of ready to take a change and just focus on redeveloping a lot of skills. Some of my best sketches that are laid out here, I definitely hit on some new ideas, like this little painting here. I've never really seen those colors happen in my work before. Here's another example of that. Just some really deep pinks. I happen to be a high-key painter, and in a lot of these pieces, it's actually kind of some darker paintings. you know, lower key, because the time of the day is that during twilight, the sun goes away. So the paintings end up being a little bit darker, and that darker, you're not raising the lightness of everything. You can maintain a lot of intense colors that normally might get a little bleached out because of the sun. Of course, I just did it last night, but that's a really special one. I felt pretty good about this little painting. Some beautiful orange clouds, some little puffball clouds late in the evening. This was earlier in that day. I really enjoyed this piece. This piece I definitely captured that real intenseness. You can kind of hear the geese honking right now, the Canadian geese, and that's what I hear when I'm looking at a lot of these different paintings. When I'm out there painting, all I can hear is the geese. This one has very simple. This isn't my favorite, but I think I was exploring some new ideas, especially in the sun, the ways that the shards of color are bouncing around in it. Very dramatic, the sun hitting the horizon, transforming everything. Really enjoy anytime that the clouds go red-orange with these pink shadow sides of the clouds. That's one of my favorite effects. I painted this earlier in the week. I know that I was just looking up at the sky, mixing colors, putting it down on the panel where I saw it. This one is probably one of my favorites of the bunch. It's not easy to paint the sun because there has to be a value contrast. The sun is definitely the lightest thing, the lightest shape in this painting, and in order to make that be the lightest, everything else has to be a little bit darker. So I'm doing things like getting these greens of the sky and these colors around the sun to read correctly. It's kind of a challenge, and that's what I'm out there for. The yellow sky, shapes of color. I did go over to the neighbor's farm and do a couple of paintings. This one has some really interesting marks on the side of the barn. This is just down the road on Schneider Road. There was a very interesting... What's up, guys? You guys are on my vlog now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
Like it or not, the hunters have startled me. Vlogging about my paintings I've done since Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're so choice.
I know.
There wasn't anything out. Like Tim and we sat till about noon or so. And then we were just walking. I did nothing.
Well, there's been something spotted on the trail cams. I'll show you then.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Trail cam just down the road.
Really?
Yeah.
Bear?
Yeah.
Nice. I always knew they were bear.
Yeah, you did. You were always talking about that. Can you see the little bear from the trail cam?
Maybe we'll just shoot one of those. It's very illegal. Yeah.
How'd you like that little stream back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was tough. My trail camera's super sketchy, sensitive, takes pictures when the leaves blow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I didn't see anything on that.
This is the one I was painting when you were out there.
Yeah. Like that.
I know.
I like this one. This one stands out.
Does it? So this one, it was like really humid that night. It was like, the tree line was just red. It was just glowing red. It's just,
Awesome.
yeah, it's just how it was. So I'm getting photographs today, and
Cool.
they're all gonna go in these little frames right here.
Yeah. So I suppose with the whole COVID thing, there's no showings.
I mean, I'm in a show in Milwaukee right now.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, stuff is going on, but it's all moving online. It's just the way of the world. So, you know, if you want to do business, you got to move everything online.
Yep. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it is. That's
I'll
the
see you,
I want
man.
the face to face. I'm gonna give you 10 grand. I want to talk to you in person.
In
Well, that's
the-
good that you're. I mean, you seem to be doing well.
The
with
only
it.
other option is just sit and don't make
Right.
any money, you know?
Right. Yeah, you gotta
Which
adapt.
is what you just gotta shift your ways just a little bit. You know?
Right,
You
right.
still do the same things.
Right. Yeah, just make a little adjustment. Yeah. OLD.
Here we got a nice deep twilight sky. Oh, dried bug on that one, but nice orange clouds. Another sun on the horizon. This is the granary on the side of the barn, but this was painted under that same sunset golden hour light. This was the moonrise on the day before Halloween, reflecting off of a puddle in the field just after they had harvested the corn. Another golden hour with the bluff reflecting into that same puddle. This is kind of a tree. It's that tree right over there. Kind of lit up when it was still autumn. The settings for the camera is I have ISO 100 f8. I've already pre-focused. Now, when I view the painting, the goal is to be able to zoom in as far as you can go and see the individual brush strokes. That's how I'm going to shoot all these paintings. They're going to be shot in the frame, and they're also going to be shot without the frame so that I can have a nice image for my own records.
Oh my God, you guys should see these paintings. They are so fabulous. They are jewels, and the camera doesn't do them justice because I can see what Kyle is taking now. Oh my God, they're beautiful.
That is so nice
Okay.
of you to say.
Oh no, they are gorgeous.
Well, you guys need to all go to marlabrenner.com too, because she has some very nice things
Oh, you're
and some
sweet.
great stories. I loved reading your story about the Georgia O'Keeffe Day.
Oh yes.
Okay, so I've shot photos of all the paintings. Now I know that a lot of people like to shoot these days using an iPhone. We had a little bit of a problem over the summer when I was uploading photos of my paintings onto my web store. The ones that I had shot using the iPhone didn't come out very well, and actually they were super pixelated. And Corbin and I talked about it, and she said, you know, from now on you just have to shoot everything using the DSLR camera. You have to have decent images of your work because you never know when you're gonna have to be applying for that museum show, or in my case, I just sent some things off to print. I have some greeting cards coming in the mail, which are gonna be something that I'm gonna be offering on my web store. And if you don't have a good image of your painting, you're not gonna have a good image of your painting. 2 years ago, for the fall art tour, I spent a whole day trying to track down a painting, and it was a whole wild goose chase. I couldn't use the image because I couldn't take the painting out of the frame anyway, and the lighting was all bad. So the best case scenario is get good images before you offer things up for sale. On Thursday, I am gonna be posting all of these paintings live on my blog, on my web store. I think I'm gonna call it my Twilight Black Friday box promotion. Now what that is that I painted all these knowing that the holidays are coming in. It's going to be gift giving time. I'm going to be offering all of these paintings available in a specially branded box that I had made, and they're going to be, I think they're going to be like right around $90 to $100 each. And inside every box you're going to get one of these framed little Twilight paintings. You're going to get a 4-pack of greeting cards, which I have on the way right now. I'm going to be getting, you know, like artists sell those little greeting cards. They're like just blank cards on the inside with an image of artwork on the outside. I have a 4-pack of greeting cards coming in, 1 card from each of the 4 seasons. There's also going to be a sticker pack included and another mystery surprise. This is the big week that I've been working towards for the past month. Getting out, painting every single night, making these paintings. And now I'm doing the marketing work just so I can get the information out to the people who want to see my paintings. Anyway, I'm gonna finish up out here. I'm gonna head back into the house. I'm gonna take a look at all the photos on my computer. I'm gonna crop everything on Photoshop. The settings that I used, I shouldn't have to color correct anything, but you know, there might be an instance or two where I have to change the levels of something. And from there, I have to start to make my email newsletter. I have to update this information on my blog. Again, that will all be going live on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, after lunchtime. I think I'm gonna wrap things up for the day, and I think I'm gonna end the vlog now. I'm also gonna get this video posted tonight, so thanks so much for sticking with me. I will check in with you all soon.
What's up, YouTube?